We're supposed to have faith like a child, and it's really simple. We keep them from hurting themselves. And they teach us things of simplicity. And the world teaches us complexity. We have to uncover that to get back to simple, right? So a lot of people don't want to hear what their kids have to say. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people. And because they're seeing through their own trauma, they get offended or defensive or whatever, and it prevents from actually bridging the gap, actually stopping that trauma. And I think it's hard for people to actually understand that they can be the reason for some of their kids' pain. And instead of just like combing over it or trying to get the kid to understand where they came from, which is important too, but the change that happens should be, whether it be your nieces and nephews, your kids, the change that should happen should be because you don't want that little one hurting. So whether or not you feel like they should be hurting, or that they maybe could understand that you didn't mean to hurt them, take it a step further and truly change so that you don't have to hear your child say the reason why they're hurt is because they feel like you don't listen, even though you feel like you listen. They're telling you that for a reason, right? So that used to be a thing between me and my son, to where I felt like he wanted to speak up in the moments where that's not the time for your opinion, because I'm telling you what to do. I'm giving you like instruction to follow. But we got a little bit deeper, just like that sailboat in the water there, riding over that wave, you know what I'm saying? And got to more of an understanding, to the point to where I would try to remember what it's like me being 16 and, just take the blessings out of the fact that we're even able to talk. We used to not be able to talk, right? Because I didn't have emotional regulation. Now I do. So I'm teaching him how to be set up with emotional regulation and coping skills and all that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people nowadays that say, oh, there's this generation nowadays, but it stemmed from the brokenness. And, understanding is how we get somewhere. Not understanding is how we stay somewhere, which is ain't really nowhere, because you ain't getting nowhere. Okay? Anyways. Go out there and understand someone, okay? Understand your kid. Understand the little ones, okay? And keep them safe more than physically. You know what I mean? Just keep it, we have to keep them from running out on the road, yeah. And we want them to learn from our mistakes, but also don't treat them like... I've seen other people do this, to where it's projection. That kid may not make that mistake as it is. They're not your mistakes. You know what I mean? They're their own person. So, no projecting. Have some understanding. And sometimes you gotta swallow that pill of, dang, my son still doesn't feel heard, even though it's in the moments where, I feel like he shouldn't be trying to express his opinion about, the fact that I told him to go do something. That's coming out at a time like this, where now's not the time, but that's the time where he realizes that, he's a good listener. He listens a lot more than he talks. You know what I mean? So I learned how to be a better listener because of him, even though I taught him how to listen to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty beautiful. So, see the beauty in everything, but also recognize the harm that you yourself have caused because of whatever, but just fix it, okay? And have a good day.